perspective. I've never been in Albayut before. With whom can I have a frank, deep, meaningful conversation and learning session on the topic until it is second nature to me? Daddy, this is when I'm supposed to be able to call you. You, Daddy, have ever been my hashkafic, halachic, and existential north. It is 3 a.m. I am sitting up in bed writing, rewriting, mulling over how to perfectly capture you so that I may be your amanuensis for our guests, that they may truly know who you are, who you were. This is quite a tall order, I realize. I could have used days, weeks even, to get this right. How could I possibly do justice to who you were? I am my father's daughter, Daddy. I like to be thorough, to get things right, to capture their fullness of meaning. How much more so the personhood of my father. And then I recall that as meticulous as you were with yourself, Daddy, you always counseled patience and an acceptance of imperfections in the rest of us. When we would talk after a speech I gave, after laning, after a presentation or work I published, after an ideological argument or protest I had gotten myself into, indulging in self-critique in one of our marathon conversations, you would interrupt me and say, "You are amazing, Razel. They've never seen anything like you. And you, Razel, you are the only one who sees any blemishes. Trust me." I sit back and smile, and the words of Leonard Cohen come to me, gifted me last fall by Kimberly Patton, one of my Rebbes at Harvard Divinity. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Please accept my imperfect offering then, Daddy. You defy gender stereotypes, Daddy, not only in your writing as in Feminism, a progressive rabbinic view, or Childbirth, a covenantal moment, and in your ahead-of-the-times lens upon self-actualization, but in your natural role as nurturer. I remember you pitter-pattering around like an elf when we were little, an elf wearing an unceremonious dish towel over his head because his weary eyes could not locate his kippah, mind you, on the night before our birthdays, snipping away with scissors until we'd awaken to find finely crafted paper decorations of our name and age, hanging from the doorways. I remember sleigh rides to school in Far Rockaway. How you managed to pull us all the way to school, I'll never know. I remember seders during which we'd all get up from the table chanting, "Kadima, Kadima to the sea," as we split the red sea of towels laid out in rows on the living room floor. My childhood memories are steeped with your lullabies sung to us in that baritone you bequeathed me as we fell asleep. Your love of poetic translation has stuck with me too in my own work. Lech el nemala atzel was one of them. Get thee to the ant, you crooned, O sluggard, observe her ways and be thee wise. This was not your only form of lullaby. I remember lying awake as a child, lulled to sleep by the sound of typing as you perfected your doctoral thesis on the rationalism of Yaakov Anatoli. Do you know that I am studying Anatoli's sermons in my own doctoral studies now? I know this would give you nachas. In fact, while reading Anatoli, I came upon a quote that reminded me of you. In a moment of rhetorical flourish, he appealed to the congregation, saying that it would be better to abstain from doing mitzvot rather than to do them for the wrong reason or without true comprehension of their essence. He was banned from speaking again. He was clearly misunderstood. You too bid us to take understanding the essence of the mitzvot with utmost gravitas. If I was raised on words like "it behooves us to," the kids, my kids, often say that I speak like a Gemara, or in a language they call Harvardish. If you had tissues peering out of nearly every page of your many books, marking pencil scribbled urgently in the margins, mine are riddled with multi-stickered stickers and my own pencil etchings. Ever the principled idealist, Daddy, I'd picture you as Don Quixote, charging windmills, striving for the unreachable stars, even while misunderstood at times, by those perhaps not sophisticated enough to grasp your brilliance. As a lover of poetry, I think you will appreciate this quote from Manly Hopkins. As kingfishers catch fire, dragonflies draw flame, as tumbled over rim and roundy wells, stones ring like each tucked string tells each hung bells, bow swung finds tongue to fling out broad its name. Each mortal thing does one thing and the same, deals out that being endures, each one dwells, selves, goes itself. Myself, it speaks and spells, crying, what I do is me, for this I came. You were you, Daddy, on your terms, with your integrity, and I have ever looked to you as my role model. You were father to me, yes, but you were so much more. You were rabbi, rebbe, teacher, confidant, friend, cheerleader, muse, my comrade in hashkafic arms, the best audience for my rambling stories, the source for the best corny jokes on the planet, my mentor in Torah and academia, in rumpled academic chic, my truck trainer. I still have the laning tapes we recorded over the phone. I have always felt that we had a hashkafic mission in this world. I took your bidding very seriously. When I walked through a sea of Haredim to take the Gemara Bagrut in the gym at René Cassin, I was a bit intimidated. You, Razel, he said, make up in depth for what they may have in breadth. There are two perspectives as to what it means to hail from a certain rabbinic school. One says that it means you hold by all the rulings issued by that school. The other, far more of a challenge, is absorbing the hermeneutical, jurisprudential, and analytical methods from the Rebbe, from the school, and then utilizing them loyally in new scenarios, even when the outcome may be different at times. I remember learning with you. You introduced me to Gemara at a young age, when women did not often have access to this realm. I would raise a halachic question that had been bothering me. You would never just answer it. The joke was that no one would ask you a shaila more than once because you'd make them work for the answer. We would look it up together. When we had hashed over the sources together, you would say, "Nu, so what do you think?" And I would give my answer. Often we would be in agreement. Sometimes we were not. In such a case, you would say, "You know, Razel, I would have gone with A, but you've got a solid argument there. You go with B." This past week's Parsha teaches us, "Thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Ki gerim hayitem be'eretz Mitzrayim." You embodied this value to the utmost. I grew up on the old equality songs, said the choo-choo train to the railroad track, don't care if my passengers are white or black. I remember you speaking of the very special neshama of one of our Christian neighbors. I remember you pointing out how a conservative rabbi friend of ours makes his tea on Shabbat using cliché. You notice things about people. Much as Moshe took the advice of Yitro, of a Midianite priest, to revamp the logistics of the Israelite juridical system, you taught me to value the holy spark in every human being. My pursuit of comparative theology is inspired by your vision, and I will sorely miss the opportunity to regale you with my tales of lovely face-to-face encounters with various others, so to speak, which gave you such nachas. The kids wanted to know if I would mention your sense of humor, your corny jokes, your fake sneezes, and your ability to find joy in everything, in everybody. Chloe asked that I share this poem. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glint on snow. I am the sunlight on brine grain. I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the soft starlight at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. You are sui generis, as is your hashkafa, especially at a time like this. It requires work, hard work, and the willingness to writhe as you did in the proverbial tension of the dialectic without falling into complacency. Chumrah, you always used to say, was never a sign of intelligence. The dedication in your book, which you merited seeing in print, read the following. To my parents, Abraham and Ray Gordon Zal, who taught me a respect for text and the pursuit of integrity, I pray that I may merit to continue this legacy. When I was drafted into the Israeli army, as we parted at the bus, you handed me a gift, a siddur. It was inscribed as follows: to Razel, may Hashem fulfill all your expectations, and may you yourself pursue them. I will continue to strive, Daddy, O Captain, my Captain, and pray that you know this and will be aware. There is so much more I could say, but the time is short. I would like to end with the lullaby with which you would lull us to sleep. I will not sing it, don't worry. Hine lo yanum velo yishan shomer Yisrael. He does not slumber, nor does he sleep. Guardian of Israel. Rest in peace, my father.